A few months ago, there were some disturbing tweets that popped up involving James Gunn. And if y'all don't know who he was the director for Guardians of the Galaxy. He's also done other movies, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I believe the one he worked on, was his most notable work. And the tweets were basically, they came across as very perverted, pedophilish type tweets that he had posted up on his Twitter account years ago, and somebody found him and they dug him up. Anyway, the people over at Disney ended up going through negotiations. They had put him on the back burner. First they had said that uh Guardians of the Galaxy would be temporarily shut down until they can find someone to direct the movie, because they ended up firing James Gunn. I don't know what they got going on now over there as far as that movie goes, but I don't know. But he was let go. Disney ended up firing him, and he was pretty much out of work. At least we thought. Now it has come up that he has now gone over to Warner Brothers to write and most likely direct the sequel to Suicide Squad. As you can see, it says Suicide Squad 2. Now, this is like a slap in the face, more so to Disney, because as we all know, I said Disney. It's a slap in the face to Disney Marvel, because DC, as we all know, is the rival to Marvel Comics. And of course, in the movies as well, even though Marvel is like toppling DC right now, but I think DC might have a chance of coming back. But anyway, that I didn't really make this video about that. The point is that James Gunn put those tweets out there and he was let go. He got rehired by the competition. And then one of the pictures that I saw from a tweet that came out too was him at some kind of pedophile themed party. I said, okay, now that's the nail in the coffin right there. That should have been the nail in his career, but I knew it wasn't either, because let's be honest. At the end of the day, James Gunn is a white male working in Hollywood. When you think about how Hollywood got started and those pictures and those tweets, it doesn't surprise anybody, because Hollywood got started on a lot of, let's put it this way, Hollywood got started in a very dark place. And the perversion and all of that is one set of that dark realm that Hollywood got started in. When you hear that term casting couch, think of people like Corey Feldman and all those child stars back in the day. And that's really all I have to say about that. And the stuff that people do in order to get their quote unquote big break. But the fact of the matter is, after he did all of that and Disney fired him, there was rumors spiraling around that saying, what if James Gunn went over to Warner Brothers in DC and did a movie for them? And that was just rumors, and people were just saying that just to be funny. But who knew that those jokes and rumors would end up coming to life? It's going to be real interesting to see how all of this plays out, but it also makes you question Warner Brothers. It's like Disney got rid of this guy who put out these perverted like tweets, and y'all just picked this guy up just so you can have some competition. But you know what? That's more so of their problem. But let me put it this way. A black director would have never gotten the opportunity to do what James Gunn did and be able to probably work in Hollywood ever again. I mean, look at what happened with Nate Parker. The last movie we saw him in was his own production with Birth of a Nation. He didn't even do an ounce of what James Gunn did as far as putting tweets out like that. But the thing is, like I said, Nate Parker's a black man. No one really came to his defense, and that man was acquitted. Meanwhile, people like Dave Bautista came fighting tooth and nail to defend James Gunn, to the point where he was willing to sacrifice his role as Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy and hang it up just because James Gunn was no longer directing it. Thus affecting the rest of the shoot for that movie. I said they can easily replace him. Now, won't it be funny if Dave Bautista ends up going over to Warner Brothers in DC and inserting his way into the next Suicide Squad movie? That would be very interesting. But the thing is, Dave Bautista got on cold for James Gunn. Like, he was like his biggest rallying supporter. That's why I had to kind of scale back on Bautista a little bit. That's crazy because Batista is from DC. He's from the DMV. Just in case y'all didn't know. But hey, it is what it is. And it's like I said, it's no surprising. It's nothing surprising at all about this and him getting a new gig. But it goes back to that saying that Professor Black Truth always echoes. They don't get fired, they get transferred. Usually that's used for police, but we can use it for James Gunn in this aspect. He only got fired temporarily, but I mean, it's not like he was really hurting, because I'm sure he had millions of dollars, stashed away from films that he has done, especially Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I mean, that was a Marvel Disney check right there. So now he's going to take his silence over there. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out, because I think this movie is supposed to be coming out next year. It's supposed to be, quote unquote. But we'll see what happens, I guess. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.